And welcome back. I want to share a brand new report from the US Census Bureau regarding new home construction numbers in the US as of December. They shared housing starts, permits pulled, housing completions, and also houses under construction in the US. One reason I shared this this monthly survey with you guys is because this really impacts our housing market. If home builders get more confident about our housing market, they build more houses. That increases housing inventory. However, though, we've been seeing over the past, 12 months, every single month back in 2022, I should say, back in 2022, builder confidence for building new single-family houses decreased every single month in 2022. But look at this, because on January 18th, the National Association of Home Builders reported that builder confidence for building new single-family houses actually increased in January. This broke a 12-month string in which builder confidence decreased. And here's a chart showing just that. The blue line right here represents builder confidence, and the dotted red line is single-family housing starts in the US. So it's interesting to see here that when a builder confidence increases, which has been increasing really ever since 2012, housing starts for building single-family houses has been more or less been increasing. Then we had stay-home orders in April 2020, builder confidence sank. Thereafter, though, it increased big time, and that increased housing starts as well. So what we're seeing right now is back in 2022, every single month, builder confidence decreased, and so did housing starts. And according to the National Association of Home Builders, it says it's possible we reached a low point for builder sentiment last December, even as many home builders continue to use a variety of incentives, including price reductions, in order to increase home sales. They also say here in the coming quarters, single-family home building will rise off cycle lows as mortgage rates are expected to trend lower and boost housing affordability. Improve housing affordability, of course, will increase housing demand. One thing I do want to mention regarding their take here regarding mortgage rates is that it's really anyone's guess what's going to be happening with rates. Right now, rates are averaging around 6.1% and have been decreasing ever since at the end of October last year. But it's really anyone's guess what's going to be happening with rates and, of course, housing affordability, because housing affordability really has to do with home prices as well, right? I did think it was interesting to see that this is the first time in more or less, last 12 months that building confidence for building single-family houses actually increased. So that actually leads me to the US Census Bureau's report that was just announced on the 19th of January regarding brand new home construction numbers for December 2022. So have a look at this. Let's first talk about permits being pulled for building single-family houses. So for single family, that actually decreased 6.5% from November 2022 to December 2022. It also decreased by about 35% on a year-over-year basis. So it appears that home builders right now are really pulling back on getting permits approved in order to build single-family houses. We're also seeing that for 2 to 4 units as well, a giant decrease of 33.8% on a year-over-year basis. Again, this is for duplexes, triplexes, and quads. And also for 5 units or more, the vast majority of these are actually apartment buildings in order to rent out. And that actually increased by 7.1% last month, but it did decrease by 21.8% on a year-over-year basis. Also, when talking about the total number of permits being authorized in order to build single-family houses plus multifamily, that decreased by 1.6% on a month-to-month basis, but it declined by about 30% from a year ago. Also, when looking at the year as a whole for 2022, permits being authorized for single-family for the entire year decreased by 12.9%. Whereas for 5 units or more, it actually increased by 9.9%. This is exactly what I've been mentioning on the channel here for quite some time, because builders have seemed to pivot away from building single family and move to building multifamily properties, given the fact that our housing market has been increasing or actually decreasing so much, given the fact that mortgage rates have been increasing so much over the past 12 months. So that's what we're seeing right now regarding permits being pulled. Let's have a look at units authorized but not yet started though. And this is when a home builder has permission in order to build houses, but they actually opt to not start construction. These are units authorized in which they have permits approved, but they're opting not to start construction. So that only decreased by 2.1% for single family on a year-over-year basis, whereas for 5 units or more, that actually increased by 20%. So what we're seeing regarding units authorized but not yet started, fairly flat for single family compared to a year ago, but a fairly significant increase of 20% for 5 units or more. This means that builders are getting permits approved, but they're opting not to start construction for 5 units or more, at least up by 50%, or up by 20% compared to 12 months ago. Let's also have a look at housing starts in the US, because total housing starts, which of course includes single family plus multifamily, was 1.382 million, just under 1.4 million at a seasonally adjusted annualized rate for December. That's 1,382,000. That actually beat the forecast, or the street's forecast, of approximately 1.36 million that the street was forecasting. So overall for total housing starts, that decreased by 1.4% on a month-to-month basis and declined by 21.8% from 12 months ago. So let's break this down by multifamily plus single family. Because single family, look at this, increased by 11.3% compared to November 2022. Remember, builder confidence actually increased in January, which is causing some builders to actually get confidence in order to build single family houses. So what we're seeing right now is a slight increase of 11.3% from 1 month ago. Having said that though, when you compare this to 12 months ago, we're still down about 25%. In regards to single family housing starts, have a look at this. This is Uncle Fred's website right here. So housing starts for single family houses has been more or less a downward trend ever since March of 2022. We did see a slight increase last August when housing starts on an annualized basis went from 900 to 923. But last month in December, it increased from 817,000 to 909,000 on an annualized basis. Also, when looking at housing starts for single-family houses compared to pre-COVID, in December 2019, there was actually just over 1 million housing starts on an annualized basis. And fast forward to December 2022, it was 909,000, so a little bit below December 2019's levels. However, though, when looking at December 2018, though, there was approximately 774,000. So the levels we have right now at 909,000 are below 2019's levels, but well above 2018. In contrast, though, going back to the Census Bureau's report here, look at multifamily for 5 units or more, a huge decrease on a month-to-month basis, down by about 19%, and a 16% decrease on a year-over-year basis. So at least compared to November 2022, home builders are actually more inclined to build single-family houses versus multifamily. And this more or less is exactly the opposite of what we saw for the vast majority of 2022. Once interest rates increase big time, builder confidence for building single-family houses decreased as well, and also housing starts for building single-family houses declined as well. Now I'm just speculating here, but I'm just guessing here that because rates went from about 7.4% now to around 6%, maybe that's giving home builders more confidence about building single-family houses. Of course, time will tell. I'll definitely keep you posted. Let's also have a look at the number of houses under construction as well. So have a look at this. The number of units under construction, and by the way, these are only seasonally adjusted. These are not annualized rates. So your actual numbers here, just seasonally adjusted here. So we're looking at total units under construction that actually increased by 0.6% compared to November, and they increased by 12.3% on a year-over-year basis. Look at the differences here though, because single-family houses more or less flat from 1 month ago and also flat compared to 12 months ago. Whereas for 5 units or more, a huge increase of almost 25% compared to 12 months ago. So when looking at single family versus multifamily for units under construction, there's some very big changes here. Look at single family. This is this column right here, single family. has been more or less declining ever since June of last year. Since June of 2022, declining every single month. Obviously, except for the small increase we saw in December, going from 767,000 to 769,000. In contrast, though, look at multifamily. For 5 units or more, it increased every single month in 2022. The current levels right now at 926,000. Again, only a 1% increase compared to 1 month ago, but a giant increase compared to 12 months ago. So take a look at this. Here's units under construction for 5 units or more. The current levels we have right now at 926,000 is an all-time record low going back all the way until 1970. In fact, during the peak of the 1970s, we actually reached 901,000 in July 1973, but the current levels we have right now at 926 is an all-time record high for units under construction for buildings of 5 units or more. And again, the vast majority of these units here are apartment buildings in order to rent out. In contrast, though, for single-family houses under construction, that has been decreasing more or less ever since June of last year. Going from 827,000 down to 767,000 in November. We did see a slight increase in December, though, going to 769,000. Also, have a look at this. These are single-family houses under construction over the past 5 years. The current levels right now at 769,000 is well above December 2019 when we had 520,000, and also well above December 2018 when there was approximately 534,000. So this huge increase that we've been seeing here really ever started back in August 2020. Also, the levels for December 2022 is more or less in line with February of 2007 when there's also 769,000 units under construction for single family as well. In contrast, though, even though we have a lot of houses under construction and a lot of multifamily houses under construction as well, units completed are still lagging behind for single family. So here's units completed for single family, down 8% compared to last month and down 0.9% compared to 12 months ago. So we're not seeing enough units being completed based on all those houses that are under construction right now. For 5 units or more, though, it decreased by 12% last month, but it increased by almost 26% from 12 months ago. And with that said, please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value in this video whatsoever, then please like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.